Hello. Welcome to Perfect Draft. I think this is episode 8. Pretty sure I should actually, look at this before I do it, but um anyway, so I'm up to 2 people who watch and comment, which is that's progress. I mean, that's doubling my audience from a day ago. So that's awesome. There was a comment um that somebody does things typically the exact opposite way that I do them, which I typically build through speed, or at least like that's a thing for me. Um, this is, I think, a pretty decent example. Uh, the 64 I was in, I didn't make it out of the first round, I'm pretty sure. But this team won and was really not challenged throughout. And I looked at things and overall, I mean, this team is reasonable. Um, the if I want to show you the player list, um, Jake Peavy was my first round pick. Um, he was okay. He wasn't great. Uh, but I mean that card is so juiced, it's ridiculous. But a 1-1-3-1 whip. Again, it's okay. Gary Templeton, a card I'd never used, was my first diamond, or I'm sorry, my second diamond, my second round diamond. Um, he didn't hit well at all, but he still managed to score 18 runs despite only 5 walks. Um, he stole 10 bases, which is and against only 2 steals, or against only 2 caught stealings. Like that was the other part of it. For me. Larry Doyle did hit better. I mean, he hit 5 home runs, had a 478 slugging percentage, also 12 steals, 2 caught stealings, got himself 14 runs, along with 17 RBIs, which was very key. But I mean, having Alec Thomas on the roster is always a positive, and he was just fantastic. He only had 241, but with a 353 on base, scored 13 runs. Um, I love this card. Love that card. But overall, the team, we our batting average. Oh, it did. Oh, up here. I'm sorry. We finished second in runs scored, despite batting average being 12th overall and an on base of 13th. Now we did lead in home runs, which if you look at the lineups, I don't think it was. We had 3 legit power guys: Bob Bailey, Buzz Arlett, and Laughing Larry. But there wasn't really that much power in the lineup. Now Bailey hit 6, Doyle hit 5, Artlett hit 4, Tony Pena hit 5, coming out of nowhere on that one. Joe Schultz hit 4, kind of coming out of nowhere on that one. Um, we led the tournament in stolen bases, and we had the third best base running stat in the game. All of this helped offset us being 28th in runs against. Our starters' ERA was not great. Our starters in general were not great. Our pitching staff was not great. I mean, you look at this. I didn't have a diamond. I only had 2 gold. I had um, a few silver, but it was not a particularly great um, great pitching staff. Uh, I did go against my. I know I picked Kyle Ryan over like higher guys. Um, I'm kind of wondering to see how he did. Yeah, he pitched great. Like I thought that this card would fit in well. I went for the extreme ground ball. It is where I went. And he had a whip of 0.54, a BABIP of 160. Tried to partner that with Gary Templeton's defense, um, which is stupendous. Cabrian Hayes had good defense. Um, Frank Isbell has underrated defense. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Anyway, um, so the formula kind of worked here. We did have 16 errors, which really hurt, but still our zone rating was third. Our defensive efficiency was first somehow, which that's a stat I really don't get yet. So anyway, hopefully it's just a little glimpse into how my general drafting, try and get a strong bullpen, get speed, force the issue on the base paths, that hopefully that shows a little bit into how that works, like when it works. I'm hitting the road shortly to go to Vermont, so I will do a 10K. Um, and let's get right to it. I'll try and keep the draft part to a expedited process. Of course, you look at the first round and you're like, oh God, this Kurt Flood I've not used before, and um, I know he gets used a lot in perfect team, like in up in the diamond, mainly because of the defense. I have Slaughter. All right, Dickey, I've used before. Um, that's a pretty decent card. I've not used Giolito, but the movement will probably scare me away for this one. I've not used David Justice. Great defense. Like none of these guys are gonna run the way I like. Um, Jeter does. I'm not a fan of the card overall. Like the errors are great. The turn double play is great. So like the defense is pretty good. I'm just not a huge fan of the card. I have the Slaughter. Um, and I do really like this card. Um, when it comes down to him and Flood, I understand taking the the defense in center field, which is what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take Kurt Flood. I'm not used him before, so I'm gonna go for the defense there, and we'll see what happens. Um, all right, and then Larry Doby shows up, although he can be best served in right field. Can play all over the place with the elite contact and power, which is pretty excellent. Brian Fuentes, with him being an extreme fly ball, is fine when you have Kurt Flood. I think that's perfectly acceptable. The I've not used that card before. I have Josh Hader. Um, Also an excellent card. I don't have Harrison Bader, but I don't need him. Zach Veen. Um, this is also a pretty remarkable card. Um, just the contact, the speed is ridiculous. The avoid strikeouts being average, like that's not great. The defense is okay. If it came down to Veen and Doby, I would probably take the Larry Doby. Like that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Larry Doby. He could play right field. I know there is an argument for taking Brian Fuentes, but I'm going to take Doby. So, oh, there's Greg Maddux. Extreme ground ball, great movement, excellent control. It's one where having two excellent offensive outfielders definitely uh, helps me be able to look at defensive guys for the infield. I mean, we'll see what happens in the gold rounds. Charles Johnson. I've not used Charles Johnson. The defense is absurd. The hitting is not great. And I could probably get a better balance in the gold rounds. The defense again, that's a ridiculous, ridiculous defense. Which is very valuable. Very valuable, but I'm gonna go Maddox here. That's too hard to pass up. All right. So the goal here is to get um a lot of pitchers. Hopefully. Hopefully. I am gonna take Ron Hansen. That worked out pretty well the last time I did it. So I'm gonna do that. I love me some Ryan Howard, but it's just like I'm not gonna take him. Um the eye is better than you would expect. I mean, because that's peak Howard, that's after he started chasing everything. Kenley Jansen, you're really paying for the control there. Makes it kind of prohibitive to go with it. Blake Parker. Let's see what Blake Parker has. All right, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. That's up for consideration. JD Davis as a gold live, really? I wouldn't have expected that. I'm afraid it's Nova. This is a pretty decent card. Um, a bit above average on defense. The avoid Ks is a little troublesome. Come on, Dixie. There we go. Extreme ground ball with great movement. Okay. I can talk myself into that. I'll do it. Let me just take a quick look at Ron Guidry. Just to, fly ball pitcher with not great movement. You're really relying on the stuff, which is still good. I mean, awesome. I awesome, awesome, awesome. But I'm gonna lean into the extreme ground ball, which having Hansen and that defense does make it easier to have that extreme ground ball. Fred Merkel would be a decent DH card. Would be decent, but I'm gonna go with these two. Let's see. Dale Bisonet. That is a good DH card. Jason DeRocher I've used before. Nishak I have used. It's an awesome card because you're getting the control there. The movement it does make it really tough to use him. Perhaps I'm gonna take Buzz Artlet again. Or wait, no, because I have Dobie. Although Dobie could play left field, or Artlet. Artlet could also DH. I just like how that worked before. He could potentially play first base too. It's just that the card did work out pretty nicely. The power is a bonus in that regard. So that's definitely up for consideration. Jonathan VR. Um, just not good defensively at second or third, which is where I'd have to play him. Sandoval, um, like it's a great hitter card. Would make a pretty compelling DH. I could talk myself into that. Davinsky, um, not bad. Having an average pitch kind of isn't great. Ozzy Albies, actually, this is a card I do rather like, especially to partner with Hansen. His turn double play isn't as great, but he could steal. He's got a good enough hit tool for second base. So, do I go with Sandoval for DH along with Albies? Do I oh, Chad Green's there as well. I gotta look at the Chad Green. And then I gotta probably hustle this up a little bit. Fly ball pitcher with excellent stuff. It's starting to look like I might not have great starters because I haven't really encountered any starters. There aren't any in this round. So I'll take Chad Green and then Albies or Artlet. Hmm. The defense on Artlet kind of doesn't really help in that regard. And I'm using Sandoval as a DH, so I'll go with Albies. I'll just lock in good up the middle defense, and hopefully I get another starter or two. Although Liam Hendricks being there, um, I don't need Barry Larkin. He can't play other positions. Earl Hamilton is okay. As a back end, as a lefty starter, not bad. Manny Machado over at third base. I think I will go with Machado as one of the cards. Yeah, I'm gonna take Machado. And let's see, are there any starters? There's Jordan Montgomery, who overall that's really a pretty good card. Is it gonna be better than the Hendricks or the Scott Kazmir up there? Again, I have good defense in the outfield, so this being so overpowered. Oh, I sold a card. Great. Um, really makes it, especially I only have one reliever. Um, I'm not a fan of Cashmere's control. Yeah, I'll take Hendricks. I'll take Machado and Hendricks. Um, just to look at the Kimbrough quickly. That's a good card. Uh, for a speed and defense guy, the Machado is honestly worthy of taking at that spot. So Machado and Hendricks keep building through solid defense. Uh, take a look at Alex Wood as a starter here. Ground ball pitcher with tough movement, good stuff. Um, I will probably, it's also a lefty. I'll probably lean into that. Uh, Del Pratt is a good card. Don't need him. Vic Sayer, I do need to get a catcher, but a first baseman who can run like that. The defense is decent, at least on the range. The error is rough, but you're getting power and you know uh, plus I can easily talk myself into that. I do like the Trevor Story. Again, don't need him because I already have a shortstop. Shortstop. Bill Daly, ground ball pitcher with excellent movement. Only two pitches, and I need a starter. And Sayer is really good with the bat. I'm gonna stay away from DJ LeMahieu. Just not a huge fan of the card overall. Um, Daly or a first baseman. I have two relievers, I have four pitchers. This gets me to six. That movement is probably worth it. But again, the ability to have a first baseman that runs. All right, I'm gonna go with this. The defense isn't quite where I want to be, but I'll go with it. I still need to find a catcher. That really needs to be a that needs to become a priority. Austin Nola, um, honestly, pretty good across the board for what I need. Yeah, that's convenient. Jim at Northrop, that's a not bad, not bad. Ollie Pickering, if I could put Flood in left field, that wouldn't make any sense in the world because of his defense in center. But I do like that card. This is one where I could conceivably look at this. I really couldn't use that as DH. I was like, maybe I could. No, I really couldn't. So Nola, and then I forget, could he play left field? He could reasonably well. There's Nick Swisher. Um, okay. Pinky Higgins, not necessary. Moncada, not necessary. Joe Biagni. This is a decent card. Him being neutral as opposed to ground ball really makes the stuff vulnerable. Uh, I will go with this. I can get by on the outfield, I suppose. Especially when Wes Covington is essentially he's a DH. Gil Cohen is decent, but Northrop's bat really puts that over the top. Okay. Let's see if I can get more pitchers. That would really be helpful this round. Um, John Gray is okay as a fourth starter. That's acceptable. Zach Britton being there, that's gonna hack, especially extreme ground ball. Yep, Zach Britton's gonna get picked up here. Um, another reliever. That's a okay being an extreme ground ball. I kind of have to go with John Gray. Um, because I need a fourth starter and I don't want to grab one in the bronze round. So we'll go with John Gray. I'm not even going to bother looking at, I'm not going to try and talk myself out of anything else. I'm just going to go with it, solidify the rotation. And I've got a decent bullpen. And let's see if I can supplement that ground ball pitcher here with Brett Martin. Decent enough movement, is a lefty. I could talk myself into that. Guy Cartwright is I honestly not a terrible fourth outfielder, though I'd want the defense to be better. Uh Hosmer as well, actually that that could work. With Sarah being a DH, that could work. Okay. Uh just for the defense, I'm I would be happy with that. I'll take Hosmer. I will go with that. And more bullpen guys. I would take the I would take Martin over Moranta there. Moronta, Jeff Neiman or Nyman. Um, Meh. I'm gonna go with Brett Martin as I'm at 2.5 minutes for 3 rounds, so I gotta pick that one up. Let's see. Garrett Richards, I've used before. I'm sitting on 8 pitchers. If I can get 2 over the next 2 rounds, that would be good. Richards as a long arm in the bullpen would be not bad. Cody Allen being extreme fly ball with bad movement. That it's kind of hard to take there. Jake McGee, kind of the same. Ross Stripling, ground ball pitcher with bad movement, but good everything else. As a bullpen arm, I could talk myself into that. I don't know how that's a 65. So let me see if I can find a role player. Hernan Perez. honestly, it's a decent bench bat. The defense isn't really there. For second base, yes. For second base, it could be there. Dave Clark, can he play multiple positions? That's not a good card. J roll, the 68 one is kind of okay. I mean, obviously the speed, the hitter tool is all right. The defense, not great. But you know what? A switch hitter with that speed off the bench, and it's Jimmy Rollins. Yeah, I can be a homer. All right. We'll start with the Sudeikis. It's good power, can play multiple positions, including catcher. Hmm. What's his catcher rating? It's probably not great. It's average. Switch hitter. Hmm. I do need a backup catcher. I That is a necessity. Jacob Stallings is a dedicated catcher. Obviously better defensively. The ability of Sudeikis to play other positions, even if he can't play them well, he can play them well enough. Um, as oh, holy cow, we're at time. Oh wow, I'm gonna lose a round. Um, so I'm gonna take Wyatt Mills as I'm gonna lose this back end here. So I'm just gonna pick guys because I just need to pick guys, which I just thought I had more time. So I'm just taking bench bats at this stage. I really don't know what I'm gonna get. Okay, maybe I got it through. Really had to be cognizant of the time there. So I don't know what I'm gonna see on the back end of the bullpen. I don't know. Oh, I need to do this. I don't know what George Smith looks like as I'm just hitting buttons now. George Smith, not great. I'm gonna go to avoid high leverage. Um, yeah. I mean, the rest of the bullpen is fine. I'm happy with the rest of the bullpen. Um, the lineups, hopefully none of those guys. Corey Dickerson is starting. Why is Northrop? Oh, Dickerson's a DH. I'd rather have Jimmy Rollins be the DH. To use the speed. And then okay, so Sudeikis is gonna be the backup catcher. Okay, good. Okay. Again, I'll do everything off camera. The setting up of the settings really only takes a couple minutes, but it's just, it's not something that's necessary um for on camera. If this guy's got really good speed too. Okay, I looked out there. Um, so anyway, it's just not something I need to do on the video. So I'll just save you all from that, all two of you. All right. I hope you enjoyed this, even though I got rushed at the end and it went longer than I was expecting. Um, okay. All right. That's it. I will probably be taking a couple days off, but we'll see if I can make one while I'm in Vermont using Go. We'll see what happens. All right. All right. Uh, have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon.